Hey, welcome back to another episode of Unleashed Alchemy. Tamara Tamu here, bringing you spiritual wisdom so that you can bring the unseen into the scene, so that you can fully be immersed and embraced by your sovereign identity, so that you can walk in your spiritual genius with complete confidence and complete freedom. Okay, welcome back. I see, first of all, I want to say hello to the new people, to the new subscribers. I see you all coming in. Thank you for being here. However you found me, I'd love to know how you found me in the comments section. Just give me a little, I found you from here or wherever. I'd love to know how you got here. So thank you for being here. So listen, I want to give you something today. All right. This is a video where I'm going off the cuff, no notes. So programming. Religious programming is something that negatively affects every single part of our lives, from our relationships with ourselves first, our relationships with other people. It affects our money. It affects our perspective. It affects how we hear things, how we take in information. It affects how we view life. It affects what we say that we deserve. All right. If your deserving level is here, if you really don't believe or think that you deserve the things that you desire, that is going to affect how you allow yourself to imagine. And that is going to affect what you allow yourself to expect. And it's also going to affect how you allow yourself to even say out loud the things that you desire and want. Why am I saying that? First of all, religious programming really in general, gives you the idea, hands you the limiting story that if you desire more than what you have right now, especially in the material sense, then somehow you are greedy. And then somehow you have to work really, 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 really hard for what you desire in order for you to be worthy of what you desire. And that is completely false. That is a false narrative to keep you operating at a low enough level to where you don't elevate and expand and transcend beyond programming. Because let me tell you this, there are systems, not just religion, but there are systems in the world that need as many people as possible to operate at a certain level to keep certain agendas in motion. And part of that system is religion. People don't like to say that. People don't like to hear that because they are very precious about their religion, because most of the time, the religion that a person is in is what their entire lineage and their family is in. People are really precious about that. But the truth of the matter is, religion plays into that system where you need people to be operating at a certain level in life to keep harmful agendas going and going and going. When you start talking about operating in your sovereignty, that scares and disrupts that system. And that is what I came here to do, specifically religious systems. I came here to disrupt that by telling you that you came here to be sovereign. All right. So going back to what I was talking about, when you have been operating for so long from a programmed identity that says, if I say that I want something more, or if I say that I want to see something happen in my life that goes outside of a certain way that things have to be, outside of a status quo, then somehow what I want, it can't happen, or it's viewed as unrealistic. And that is a block. That's a block to your imagination, and it's a block to your throat chakra. Because again, if you have an expectation to where in your mind, in the back of your mind, you know you want something more, but then that programmed identity that you operate from says, well, no, because what you want more, your wanting more goes outside. Your vision that you have of your life, your true vision, your soul aligned vision that you've always had goes outside of that border. So no, that it doesn't fit, so you can't have that. And you may be saying, well, I don't go to church. I walked away from my religion, and that's wonderful and beautiful. But here's the thing. If you have not gone back to sever the ties, to sever that operating system out of your body, you're still operating from religious dogma and religious programming. That programming mindset is still operating in your life. So if you find yourself, if you're watching this and you find yourself having visions of this big life that you want for yourself, no matter what it is, I don't care if you have dreams to just travel. I don't care if you have dreams to just spend your time planting flowers. I don't give a shit what it is. Your soul aligned, that thing, those things that you think about all the time. If you want to be a songwriter, that's what you dream about. If you want to write poetry, that's what you dream about. The poems come from your spirit, they come from your soul. There's no struggle. You just wake up with a poem. That is your soul moving you in that direction. But because that is more than what you're experiencing right now, programming is saying, nope, that goes outside of this linear way that you have to be, that you've been told that you have to be. So no, you're not going to allow yourself to even think, well, what would that look like? What would that look like if I all of a sudden woke up with all of these opportunities to travel? If I woke up with all of these opportunities to write music? If I woke up with all of these opportunities to go plant some flowers all day? If I woke up with all these opportunities to write poetry? What would that really look like? But because you are operating still from programming, you won't even allow yourself to dream that far. You see the detriment that programming has? Programming will have you thinking, and I'm using this as an example because we can all relate to it. Programming will have you thinking that the only way for you to receive money is to go out and clock in and work at a job, whether you like the job or not. Programming will have you thinking that there is no other way because, again, that is linear. It's a linear way of thinking. And yes, religious programming has its hand in the way that the workforce operates. The workforce, again, is a system that keeps people operating at a certain level. Because you can't have all these sovereign people walking around here, because otherwise we won't need those systems. Then what? So I am coming to you and I'm telling you in this video that programming affects every single part of your life. The next time you're at a stoplight, the next time that you are still, that you are by yourself, that you're eating, you're, I don't know, doing laundry, you're doing your hair, you're brushing your teeth, and you're thinking, oh, wouldn't it be wonderful and amazing if I could have this? And you stop yourself. That's programming in operation. You have to sever that. You got to get that out of your nervous system so that you can begin to speak exactly what you want. The next time you are silent and you have a vision of this bigger life than what you have right now, you have permission right now to speak that vision exactly how you see it. So if you are working a job right now and you're saying, I don't want this, I know that I am genius enough to build something for myself to where I can have oceans of money avenues, of wealth avenues coming in from all over the place in ways that I enjoy, in ways that are freeing to me, to where I don't have to clock in anywhere. Allow yourself to speak that, because you are a magician. You are an alchemist. You came here as a liberated being. You didn't come here bound. You did not come here programmed. You came here to live a sovereign life in every single way. Okay? So this perhaps is a reminder video for you. And I also want to tell you this. If you're ready for a freedom upgrade, you know that it is time for you to not just step in to a sovereign identity, but to lean into it, to let it hug you and you hug it. This is the identity that's already been there. It's always been there. It's not something that you have to look for. It's been there, but it's been covered up underneath programming, religious programming, and dogma. So your liberation is here now. And if you want to experience more of that in your life, I want you to hop into my program that begins June 7th. It is a live program that I will be teaching over 6 to 8 sessions. I haven't added on the 2 sessions yet. Right now, when you click the link, I'm going to put the link for you to register. When you click on that link, it's called Deconstructing Religion, Rediscovering Sovereignty. Because we got to do more than it's so much more than deconstructing religion. We got to get to the identity. We got to go to the core. We got to get to our emotions and clear all that stuff out so that we can appreciate our sovereignty, so that we can begin to operate in our genius, so that we can begin to operate in our spiritual science. So when you click on the link, the event starts June 7th. So you're going to see it says 6 live sessions. I'm actually going to add on 2 more sessions. These are going to be sessions where it won't be consecutive. I'll teach a session, we'll have a week off, we'll come back with the next session. The reason why I'm doing this is because you need time to integrate the wisdom that you're going to be receiving. And over the course of those live sessions, I am taking you through the same process that I took myself through to completely rid my nervous system of that programmed identity. It took me a long time to do that. There was a point where I didn't even realize, even after I left the church, after I left religion, 20 plus years, I didn't realize that identity was still taking place and operating in my life. Couldn't figure out why things weren't changing. And that's why. So it doesn't have to take you that long. Okay. So I'm bringing you the same process that I use to walk you through live sessions. Okay. If that sounds exciting to you, I want you to hop into the program, register today. June 7th is when we begin. June 7th of this year, June 7th, 2025. All right. Receive your freedom upgrade. The link to register is in the description box. Also, there are other ways that you can work with me. I have products right now. They are ebooks that will help you through that process as well. I also have a 12-session package where you can just work with me one-on-one. You have to book a call for that. All right. And then there's also a one-off session that I do. It's a 75-minute session where you will walk away with actionable steps that you can start to integrate as you get off the call. All right. So anyway, live session begins June 7th, 2025. Link is in the description box for that service and for my products. All right. Until next time, stay and be sovereign.